Okay guys, chapter 12, lesson 5, we're going to solve right triangles. Now, you know what a right triangle is, but what does it mean to solve a triangle? Well, here's a right triangle, and it has 3 angles, A, B, and C, and then 3 sides. Side A, opposite angle A, side B, opposite angle B, and side C, opposite angle C. To solve a triangle means to find all the sides and all the angles. Now you can solve any triangle as long as you have 3 of these things. And any combination of 3 of these things out of all 6 pieces of information. The only thing is if you only have the 3 angles, you won't be able to do it, but any other combination of 3 of these will work. So you could have an angle, a side, and an angle, and solve it. You could have a side, and a side, and solve it. You could have a side, an angle, and a side, and solve it. As long as you have 3 out of the 6, you can solve it. Okay, so here's an example. Solve this right triangle if you know that angle A is 30. It's a right triangle, so angle C is 90. And then one of the sides is 50. Side B is 50. Okay, now in order to solve, we're going to find all the angles and all the sides. So how many degrees is angle B? Well, you know that all of them have to add up to 180. So 90 plus 36 is 126. 180 minus 26 is 54. There it is. Okay, so we've got the angles down. Now, how do we find the sides? Well, we're going to use cosine, sine and tangent and all that. So, let's go ahead and label this. So it's 90 and this one is 54. Okay, can we find C? Yes. It is adjacent over hypotenuse. That's cosine. So the cosine of 36 is equal to C over 50. So multiply by 50 and use your calculator. Cosine of 36 equals times 50, 40.45. Okay, so we're going to have to round that thing to make sure we get it right. So C is 40.45. Hold on, I flipped it. It should be adjacent over hypotenuse. Oh, pish posh. Okay, here we go. That's all right. So instead, we'll have to do times C, and then divide by the cosine. So C is actually going to be 50 divided by the cosine of 36. All right. Sorry about that. Okay, so 50 divided by the cosine of 36. There we go. 61.8. So, C is 61.8. Okay, now, how do we find A? Well, the same way here, we can do the opposite over adjacent. The tangent of 36 is equal to opposite over adjacent. Okay, now 50 times the tangent of 36 should equal that opposite side. Let's go ahead and do 50 times the tangent of 36. 36.3. So we have solved the triangle. We have all 3 sides and all 3 angles. Okay, let's do another kind of problem using trigonometry. This one involves angles of elevation and angles of depression. So, suppose there's a little ship. Here's our little boat. And it is approaching a volcano. Okay, now here's the water. Okay, now here's your boat right here. And we want to know how tall is the volcano peak. So we're going to go inside the mountain to find the 90 degrees like this. Okay, and then right here we measure this thing. So we can know that right now this thing is 25.6 degrees angle of elevation. Then something weird happens. The boat moves forward to here, let's say. And now the angle of elevation has changed. This is 31.2 degrees. And then how it moved 1,050 meters closer. The question is, how high is this volcano above sea level? Well, we can do this. We're going to call the distance from here to here x, and the height is y. We're going to do a system of equations using trigonometric functions. Notice we have the opposite over the adjacent. So I can do the tangent of 31.2 is equal to the opposite over the adjacent. There's one equation. Now, if I add 1,050 to x, then I'll be able to have another equation with the tangent of 25.6. So the tangent of 25.6 back over here is the opposite over the adjacent, which is now a little bit longer. And you can actually calculate the height of the volcano this way, which is really cool. So let's find out the tangent of 31.2. So tangent 31.2, 0.6056. So 0.606, let's round it, equals y over x. And now let's find the tangent of 25.6. So tangent of 25.6, 0.479 equals y over x plus 1050. Okay, now we have two equations, and in order for this to be useful, we're going to have to pretend that this is over 1, this is over 1, and we can cross multiply and get rid of these fraction-looking things. So I'm going to have 0.606x equals y, and then 0.479 times x plus 1050 equals y. I can do substitution. 0.606x equals 0.479 times x plus 1,050 times 0.79. Let's do 1,050 times 0.479, and that would equal 502.95. Let's subtract 0.479x. So 0.606 minus 0.479 is 0.127. So our final equation, 0.127x is equal to 502.95. Okay, now divide by 0.127, 0.127. So I'm going to have 502.95 divided by 0.127. Wow, look at that. Okay, so x is 3,960.24 meters, but we want to know the y, so I'm going to have to come back over here and do the that times. So here, this equation, tangent of 31.2 is y over x. Okay, so x times the tangent of 31.2 equals y. That's our magic number right there, because we're looking for how tall this thing is. So I'm solving for y, and so I need to take this number times the tangent of 31.2. So let's do it. 3960.24 times the tangent of 31.2, and there it is. 2,398.4 meters above sea level. Okay. Okay, one other kind of problem here. This one involves altitudes. So you need to know about isosceles triangle. Isosceles means this side and this side are the same this angle and this angle are the same. And then an altitude is a line drawn from the vertex at a perpendicular to the base, and it divides this evenly. Okay, so we have an isosceles triangle, ABC, ABC, and this is side A, this is side B, and this is side C. We got to solve the triangle. So that means find the angles and find the sides. Okay, what do we know? We know that the side A is 31 centimeters, or whatever. Side C is 42.5. Let's find the rest. Now, since this is divided in half, we know that this piece right here is 15.5. Let's just write down this triangle right here. So this is 15.5, this is 42.5. So can we find this angle here? Yes. This is a right triangle. So we have adjacent over hypotenuse. So the cosine of angle B is the adjacent side over the hypotenuse. So if I do 15.5 divided by 42.5, so 15.5 divided by 42.5, we get 0.3647. So the cosine of B is 0.3647. Now, go ahead and take the inverse of it. So we're going to do the inverse of the cosine of 0.3647, and that gives us the angle 68.6 degrees. Okay, so we can fill that in, 68.6 degrees. Now, C has to be the same because it's an isosceles triangle. And you know that in a triangle, 68.6 times 2, the whole thing, all the angles add up to 180. So 68.6 plus 68.6 equals 137.2. And in order to make that 180, we need this one to be 42.8. Okay, we have one more side to find, and then we're done. The sides are the same. It's isosceles. Done. Okay. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks.